Well, our house renovations seem to be coming to an end, so I think this winter's going to be a time to do something around the garden. The garden's been pretty neglected for the last couple of years that we've lived here, and well, it was certainly neglected for some time before that. There's plants to come out because they're dead or in the wrong place. There's lots of empty space. It's not particularly easy gardening here because in the summer it's just so hot that and there's no rain for months and months and months on end, so you've got to really choose plants that are going to cope with the drought, otherwise you're going to spend a fortune on water. The winter's certainly the time to do some gardening here because it's too hot to garden in the summer generally, and also in the winter at least we get rain, so the ground's a bit softer, and also the any new plants you put in actually have a chance to establish before the summer. Well, let's give you a quick tour. So here we are, starting at the front gate. The whole plot's about 1,000 square metres, so it's a reasonable sized garden. Got a huge agave there that has masses of spiders' webs all over it. And the side of the house here, this bougainvillea and agaves growing along by the side of the house. We have the path leading to the house. It goes underneath this Peruvian pepper tree, which I quite like, and then out to the front garden. As you can see, there's a lot of empty space. There was no thought given to any planting. They just put plants in here, there and everywhere, and there's weeds galore because although there's a pecan covering the ground, that actually acts as a very good seed bed. So as soon as we get some rain like we did 2 or 3 weeks ago, up come the weeds. Okay, just a few of the plants in the garden. This is one of my favourites. Although it looks like a cactus, it's actually a form of euphorbia, a succulent. And I think it's rather nice. This is what's the common name is elephant's food, because apparently it makes up about 60% of the African elephant's diet. That's another succulent. We've got various other things here. I think this is a form of yucca, pretty large, and so is this. This is another form of yucca. Grows a bit larger than the average yucca you see in the UK, in a pot in a corner of a room. This is some form of palm. That's an acacia tree there, which is a strange thing. It has some lovely yellow flowers on it in the spring, but unfortunately those and the pollen from it just fall out for about a month and end up in the pool, so it's a bit of a pain. This is a very small Clarion Date-Palm, and we have another tree, or a couple of trees here. This one is another form of acacia, and this one here, which is beautiful when it's in flower. This is a honey locust tree, and it has these seed pods that look just like sycamore seed pods, but it's not sycamore. This little patio area with some pot plants and other things. And this area here, just along by the path, believe it or not, I actually planted up about 18 months ago with about 20 or 30 plants. I think we've got about 6 left because the dogs dug them up, or mainly Oscar, because it was mainly done before we got Jensen, so I can't blame him too much. Okay, this is the back garden. We've got a couple of bougainvilleas here, this white one and the orangey one. I'm going to dig those up, I think, because as beautiful as they are, they flower all the year, but the flowers don't last very long. They fall off, and they all end up in the pool. I'm not too sure what this is. It's nice, lovely yellow flowers, evergreen, and flowers most of the year. Here we have a large Clarion Date-Palm, which is nice, lethal to cut back, because right at the end of the fronds, as we can see that, these last bits in there, they are just like knives, so you have to be very careful when you're cutting those back. Next to the date palm, there's this. It's very pretty. Don't know what it's called yet. I shall find out. And we have this area here that needs weeding and planting up. Actually, I did plant this plant the other day, and I videoed it. It was intended to show exactly how hard the ground is. So I got my pickaxe out and everything else I normally use to make a hole. And as luck would have it, this seems to be the one part of the garden that's actually got some soil. So the video didn't exactly work. Okay, up from there we have this, which is a salt bush. I don't particularly like it, but it does provide plenty of privacy from next door. I have to cut it back 2 or 3 times a year because it just falls all over the place. Further along we've got this, and we have an area over here with this ground cover succulent, which just looks green at the moment but does have some very pretty flowers on in the summer. Okay, and we have a junk area here currently, which at one stage I was going to turn into a bit of a veg garden. I don't know whether that will happen. And above that is another form of pepper tree. I think this one's a Californian pepper tree. We do have this, which is a cherry bush that's just been flowering, so hopefully we'll get some cherries on that. And over there we do have a lemon tree in the other pot. We've actually got about 5 lemons on it. So that's enough for now. Bye bye.